We had talked for a week straight. Messages back and forth. Catching up on years of life in the space of 7 days, and somewhere in the middle of all that talking, we made a decision. We were going to meet. She gave me her address. Same state. Different local government area, not far, but far enough that I had to board a bus to get there. I remember sitting in that bus, 30 minutes journey, and I could not keep still. My leg was bouncing. My mind was running. Every minute that passed was a minute closer to something I had been waiting years for, without even fully knowing I was waiting. The excitement was something else entirely. After all those years of wondering, after every school uniform that triggered a memory, after the girl on campus who turned around and wasn't her, after a week of waiting for a Facebook reply, I was finally going to meet Dinah.
When the bus dropped me off, I started walking toward her street, and then I saw someone ahead, a woman walking in my direction, coming from the market by the look of it, bags in hand, moving with that familiar quiet confidence. Something about her stopped me, but I had been here before. I knew this feeling. The girl on campus in the coverall had taught me not to trust it, so I kept walking, kept my composure, told myself, "Don't do this again, Gideon." And then I heard it. A voice. I stopped. It was her. She was standing right there in front of me, real in person. Not a Facebook profile, not a memory, not a girl on campus who turned around and broke my heart with a stranger's face.
Dinah, right there. And she was even more beautiful than I remembered. Her skin was glowing. That same figure, that same energy, quiet and confident and warm all at once. The kind of woman that every man would want to himself, without even knowing why. She had grown into herself completely, and all I could do was stand there and take it in, the years, the distance, the wondering. All of it collapsing into this one single moment on a street in her neighborhood, with market bags in her hands and a smile on her face that I recognized from primary school. Still Dinah. After everything, still exactly Dinah. I went to her without thinking. The hug was immediate. Natural, like my arms remembered her before my brain caught up. I held her tight, tighter than I probably should have, but I couldn't help it. Years of distance. In one embrace. And for one moment, just one brief moment, everything else disappeared. The years apart, the unanswered questions, the wedding pictures,
her husband,
all of it gone. Just Gideon and Dinah, the way it used to be. I almost kissed her. Almost. And then reality came rushing back. She was married. This was not mine to take. So I held on for one more second, and then I let go. She pulled back, laughing, looking at me the way you look at someone you cannot believe is standing in front of you. She said she was surprised to see how grown I was. That I had become a man. She had no idea what those words did to me.
I took her market bags without asking. It felt natural, like the most normal thing in the world to do. And we walked together toward her house, side by side, talking and laughing the way we used to walk through the school compound in primary school, like no time had passed at all, like we had never lost each other. And then we got to her house. I was not prepared for what I saw. A beautiful duplex. Electric gate, beautiful interiors, everything about it said she had married well. She was living a life that matched exactly who she had always been. That girl from a rich family in primary school had grown into a woman whose life reflected every bit of that. I was happy for her, and I was not going to examine the other feeling, sitting right next to that happiness. She was the only one home. Her husband was not around. And I want to be honest with you. I noticed it and I filed it away somewhere without letting myself think too much about what it meant that I noticed. We sat down and started talking, really talking, about life, about memories from primary school, about how we met and what we remembered about those days, about my work now and where life had taken me. She asked about everything, genuinely interested in every answer. concerned in the way that only someone who truly knows you can be concerned. And then my eyes landed on it. The portrait. Dinah and her husband, framed beautifully on the wall. A young, handsome man, well-built, well-dressed, smiling the smile of someone who knew exactly what he had. I brought it up casually, asked her how it all happened, how she went from that primary school girl to this, how she ended up with him. She told me everything, and I listened, nodding, smiling at the right moments, while something burned quietly inside me. I was jealous of her husband. I am not ashamed to admit that now. At some point, she got up to go to the kitchen. I followed her without being invited, and she didn't send me away. We cooked together, standing side by side in her kitchen in her home, in the life she had built with another man, and it felt like the most natural thing I had ever done. It reminded me of the old days. The ease of it, the way we moved around each other without stepping on each other's toes, the conversation never stopping, the laughter never fading. I felt something I could not name, and I chose not to try. I was not a visitor in that kitchen. I felt like I belonged there, and that feeling was the most dangerous one of the entire day.
6 hours passed, like 6 minutes. We ate together, we talked, we laughed, we remembered, we caught up on every year that had slipped between us without warning. And then it was night. Time to go. She walked me out, all the way to the street, standing there in the night air outside her beautiful home, watching me prepare to leave. I hugged her. Goodbye. And that is when I saw it. Tears running quietly down her face. Not dramatic, not loud. Just silent tears the way you cry when something is touching a part of you that you did not expect to be touched. She held on like a child who did not want to let go of something precious. And I stood there holding her, feeling everything and saying nothing. Because what was there to say? Everything that needed to be said was already being said without words. I pulled back, looked at her face one more time, and I walked away.
I got home that night, and I could not sleep. I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment. Every laugh in the kitchen, every glance that lasted a second too long. The way she looked at me, like she was seeing something she had missed without knowing she had missed it. And then the portrait came back to me. Her husband. Young, handsome. Living in that beautiful house with Dinah every single day. Waking up next to her. Coming home to her cooking. Hearing that warm, sweet voice call his name, the way it had called mine on that street. And it was supposed to be me. That was the thought I could not shake. Irrational, unfair, complicated, but real. She should have been mine